there is this really crazy story, right?
Yeah.
So you came to the factory, picked up the bike, and clocked over 200 kilometers on the same evening.
Yes.
Now, that is insane. Before we get started, Naveen, just give a quick intro about yourself and then have a bunch of things to discuss with you.
Myself Naveen, and I am basically from Bangalore, and I do travel a lot. I do like to travel, and I do work in gaming company, that is a Technicolor Creative Studios.
So you're in the creative industry, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
you're part of the 3D development process?
Yes.
Cool.
So we do create characters, environments, and vehicles like this for the companies, for the games, for PC, Xbox, P4.
There is this really crazy story, right?
Yeah.
So you came to the factory, picked up the bike, and clocked over 200 kilometers on the same evening.
Yes.
Now, that is insane. So give us more context to how that happened, what your plan was.
So usually my plan was there's a temple in the Nandi that is called it's on a hill. That's not a big like Nandi. It is a Gopinatha Betta. So it's a Narsimha temple.
What was the one-way distance?
It is around 130 or 40 it goes.
Okay,
And the good thing is you guys have installed a regeneration.
right. So you rode on the high regen setting.
Yeah, I didn't know, but later I did explore.
Okay,
I did explore it, and now I kept it on a high, depending upon the situation. I do
Right.
change it.
Okay.
And that day, even we were two. It was not a single I was riding, as my friend was a pillion rider from Hebbal.
okay. So
And
from Hebbal to Nandi Hills, it was a dual ride.
Yes. And again, coming back, I had to drop him near Hebbal, and then I had to go back to Anekal.
Okay. So then I'm guessing out of 200 kilometers, about 100 was solo riding and 100 was with pillion.
Yes.
You tried all three modes?
Every mode, all three. Glide, like while going, I used glide a lot.
Huh.
Ballistic, we tried only inside the city because outside we wanted the mileage as well. And while coming, combat it was. And while coming back, we used the combat and even the glide mixture. And when I was on the way, I used the combat.
Did your friend ride as well?
Yeah, he did.
Cool.
He did like, and he was pretty much inspired by the battery. It was pretty much what you guys have given a round figure. It was
Correct.
pretty much near to that.
Right.
Hardly I can see around 5 or 10 kilometers. That too because I did with the ballistic and all the modes.
Correct.
And even I was in the torque speed and everything, so that differs.
Also, you had pillion.
Yes.
I think most often when companies mention data, it
They'll
is
not
for
mention
a
pillion.
single rider. But yeah, that is something we've internally worked on also, where adding another 70-80 kgs to the system
By-
does not significantly change the performance.
Yeah, that's good actually because I did experiment. When I was alone and when my pillion rider was there, the performance difference was very much less.
So that was a very important factor because when we started the company, right? One thing we observed from user feedback, there were a lot of other imported vehicles and few other companies in the market. Feedback was when two people sit, it's not even able to climb a flyover.
Yeah.
And that's when we realized the way we modulate performance, single versus dual should not have
Difference.
any difference in the output.
Electric vehicles doesn't make a sound much.
Right.
So I am not into that much of a sound person. I do prefer like speed, what the performance and other stuff. I don't give a damn about the sounds.
Right.
Because if you go to electric, there are some bikes in the road where the artificial sound system is given.
Yeah.
I don't know what's the reason for that. If you wanna, you can have your headphone,
Yeah.
keep it, and you can hear the bike sounds if you want.
Right.
I do pay for that if you want like that.
True.
It depends upon.
Yeah, and if
what
it's
you-
new technology, you should highlight that tech, right? There
Yes,
is no
definitely.
point on creating something new and still bringing baggage from
Yes.
the older stuff, right?
Yes.
onto-
So if you're new, getting into new evolution, no, then evolution should not carry forward whatever the thing that it is not needed from the past.
which goes back to our aviation philosophy, right?
Yes.
If something is functionally required, it should be there.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
If
it
it's not,
doesn't
it should
deserve
not be. There's no reason of keeping it. It also consumes energy.
Right.
So it's then rather that you can get some mileage instead of that.
Right.
Then if it's upon the companies and what the people mindsets are.
Right.
So everybody are different and everybody's mindset is different.
No, but having said that, the F-77 is not silent.
It is not.
So what do you think
Initially
of
it is. Initially when I take off it is. But when I go to 40, 50, 60, the sound comes. And when I'm in a ballistic mode, the sound is like...
the sound? Yeah.
So it is so cool. Like I do feel when we sit inside a flight or something, or even I'm into gaming, so we do have a flight simulation. So
Right,
even
right.
in
So-
that, we do have the sounds like this. So when we are playing all those things, we literally do like. And even
Right.
your modem, like the button system is something like a joystick kind.
Yeah. More gaming console inspired
console kind of,
interaction.
yes. Most of the even the display that you guys have initiated in that and the animation, everything, it's so appealing for us.
Huh.
And it does gives a feel of sport inside
Right.
that. And
No,
I'm-
I think coming from a gaming background, that will be something very interesting for you
Yeah.
as well, and to see
Yeah.
how that evolves.
we do whenever we do see a boring stuff,
Huh.
so we literally don't like it much. We do feel like why companies having that much of money can't afford of giving something so
Yeah.
interesting and that looks creative way.
Yeah.
So when they give the same thing, like if you can see a single like recent whatever the bikes that we get, the animation is nothing in that.
Yeah. I think it's more than money. It's about understanding the consumer of tomorrow.
Yes.
And what their passion is, what their affinities are in life, and what their lifestyle is, and
definitely.
trying to match that with the design. You would have had some interesting experiences on the road as well
Yeah.
with other folks. Anything?
I did. BMW was there, Domino was there,
Huh.
and Himalayan was there,
Okay.
and pretty other bikes as well.
Huh. Huh.
And when even this,
Okay.
I do remember at the nights people do take them out,
Huh. Huh.
and even I was riding at the night.
Okay.
So whenever I see them, they're in a high, like at the signal they'll be doing like this and all.
Revving
Yeah.
to take off.
Yeah, and initially from a glide mode it will go to ballistic.
Huh.
And then before he starts, I will be moving a lot for, and I will be waiting in the
I know
signal.
exactly that feeling, right?
Yeah, it feels so good.
Yeah.
Actually, when the someone who is doing a lot of noise and who is like, oh, he's showing off, and I'll feel like without showing off, silently I will take
You're
off.
like the silent assassin.
Yeah, that feels so good.
Cool.
And the people will stop you after that asking like, how is this? Literally, I did get a lot of comments that the bike model is so good.
Right.
Literally, people are liking the model design and everything.
Right.
And even the color.
Right.
In fact, I got a lot of compliment.
You
for
got
buying
the
it.
shadow,
Yes,
right?
yes. And I got a lot of compliment for buying it, and I feel like it's really worthy of buying it.
Exactly how many days since you got the bike?
12 or 13, I think.
Right. 26th, right?
Yeah,
So 26th, I think nearly 2 weeks.
yeah, nearly.
And you've covered about what, 1,200 kilometers?
1,280. Literally like 1,200 kilometers or 300 kilometers. My expenditure of saving minimum of like with the mileage of 25 kilometers and the fuel price, I had it as 100 rupees.
Huh.
So when I calculated it was 4,200 something.
Huh.
So within 10 days when I'm able to save 4,200 rupees.
In 10 days, you've saved 4K. That is crazy.
Within a year I can save a lot.
Yeah.
What happens is like the bike price, what I bought, literally it will be like hardly I would have paid 50 to 1 lakh.
Correct.
If I compare with
If you
my...
calculate the savings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is worthy. So when you're getting your bike for 1 lakh, it is worthy.
Yeah.
Why do you worry?
Yeah, so Naveen mentioned, giving test ride to somebody else.
Yes.
So how did that happen?
So many people...
Was it a friend of yours?
Yeah. One of my friend who has worked with you guys previously with the sensor stuff.
Okay.
Providing you guys a sensor or something. And he called me after I posted and he messaged
So
me.
he saw
3
your
days.
photos online and...
Yes. And he messaged me 3 days asking me, where are you, how am I doing and all. And then he asked me, bro, you bought a new bike that I want to test ride. I said, okay, come over. You can take it. I said, no problem, I can give you the bike. He came the day after that and he sat beside me and he asked me, okay, let's go for a ride. And soon the first mode I went was ballistic.
Right. without warning him or what?
No, I didn't even warn him. He was like, I worked with this and I want to know how this performs.
Okay.
Because he was telling like when he knows something he worked and it is really worthy, he was like, I'll feel so happy for that. And I was like, okay, then you sit. I will show you what it is. And then I went with a ballistic and when I left the accelerator, his legs were on a hair.
Okay.
He literally holded me like this and he was so back.
Right.
And he was like, bro, please stop it. And then I stopped and I went, he asked me, please go in a slow mode. It is fine, I got to know. Then I went in the glide mode and then you want a combat mode. And then I gave him a bike.
Right.
You can also go and come. And then he went with the glide mode. He never go to combat. He didn't even go to combat or ballistic. He went in the glide and he came back with the glide.
Right.
He was like, why didn't you? I asked him, why didn't you? Then he was like, this performance is so high. Without knowing anything, if I do anything, that will be a problem for me.
Right. So cool. That's a very interesting story.
Yeah, it's so cool. When recently I went for a test ride with my friend for a car, and over there as well, when I park my bike over there, people come and watch the bike, seeing the specs and everything. It's an electric, how long it goes and all.
Right.
They will try to move it and all.
Right. So I also hear you got a helmet that goes really well with the F77 Shadow.
Yes, I went for shopping on the day before I got a delivery.
Okay. Do we have it?
Yeah, it's here.
So you've gone with the same
Yeah, same color.
matte
Yeah.
finish and black.
Even the
grey,
bike
white.
is a matte finish, so I went with the matte finish.
Cool. On that note, amazing. Good to have you on board.
Thank you.
And
Thanks a
you're
lot.
on the leaderboard of the kilometers driven in just 10 days.